Yeah, hi peeps, Tersse back in our spot box once again. A little bit of politics here. Been watching some of the stuff that's going on about, the deconstruction of the CPAC and, the Republicans, what's going on with them, what's going to happen, how can they compete with the Democrats over the next sort of 2 to 4 years, or, 1 to 3 years, and you get all these people, talk for the talking heads you get on TV, talking for the Republicans, saying, "Oh, well, a really interesting person is this Ron Paul guy. He's going to be, he's really talking from the grassroots of, the Republican Party. He's a real conservative." And he's not a fucking conservative. Ron Paul is not a conservative. He's a libertarian. It's like when you look at the politics in Britain, you've got the Labour Party, they're the left. You've got the Conservatives, they're the right. And then you've got the Liberal Democrats. They're sort of, they're not the right and they're not the left. But they joined with the right-wing Conservatives in order to, form a government. So now we have a coalition government. We don't have a Conservative government. We have a Conservative and a Libertarian government. We have Conservatives and Libertarians, joined together, in order to form a coalition which is stronger and gets bills passed if they all vote in the same way against the left, And this is the problem you have in America. You're a two-party system. You don't have coalitions. So if Ron Paul wins, Conservatives lose. And Democrats lose as well. But Ron Paul can never win. Ron Paul can't even get more than 14 or 15% of the electorate in America. Because that's basically your libertarian base. It's about, 15%. Maybe he can get a few Conservatives to come on his side who think his ideas are good, so maybe he gets 20%, 22%. But then you're still going to have 20% Conservatives. So now you've got 42% of Conservatives, so maybe you get 26% Conservatives. So you get 26% Conservatives and 22% Libertarians, but you only have a two-party system. The Democrats are still going to kick the fucking shit out of the Libertarians and the Conservatives in an election. So all this bullshit about Ron Paul is a non-starter, man. It's a non-starter. Ron Paul is going nowhere. He's a fucking libertarian. Most Conservatives hate his fucking guts. They're not going to fucking side with him. They're not going to vote for him. So please, Conservatives, stop saying that Ron Paul, because he's part of the GOP, is a Conservative. He's a fucking libertarian, and you fucking know it, and Macy's hate the fucker, you know what I mean? The Democrats have got everything tied up in America at the moment. And if the Conservatives can't find their way to give people their human rights, like the gay movement, give poor people and poor children some food and education, and tax the rich a little bit more, then you're fucked for the next 20 fucking years. You're fucked. The Democrats will gradually walk over the top of you by more and more and higher levels of fucking, voting. Because their policies work. Their policies are what the majority of your country want. They want medicine. They want access to doctor. They want jobs. You know what I mean? They don't want any more fucking wars. They want to stop giving fucking money to companies like fucking oil and gas companies who make a profit and don't pay any taxes. They want to stop giving people money for growing corn that you don't fucking need. You need to reform your tax. You need to reform your fucking farming fucking subsidies. You need to reform your oil and gas subsidies. You need to reform Yeah, you do need to reform your social system. You really do need to reform your social system, but not by cutting it to the bone and destroying it and getting rid of it. No, you need to strengthen it and increase it and spread it more about. And you need to tell these fuckers, the 0.2% of your country who own fucking, you know, almost just every fucking thing, that, you know what, yeah, you've got enough. You've fucking got enough. You can't spend what you've got in your whole lifetime, or your kids' lifetimes, or your kids' lifetimes. So let's tax you, motherfucker, at 90% again, like we used to do when the fucking, you know, the imbalance of fucking, you know, the economy was so bad it almost destroyed America the first fucking time in the 30s. You've been through this already, America. Look back at your history. The only way you dealt with it was to realise that there's no point in having 400 people in the whole of America owning 90% of the fucking wealth over the next 20 years. So you've got to say to them, we're going to tax you at 90 fucking %. Because that's what you bastards fucking deserve after the fucking shit you've put us through. And the fucktarded way you've destroyed our fucking democracy. Just saying, you know. And I do believe that Europe's getting on the very fucking verge of doing the very same thing. You think the fucking French Revolution was bad? Wait till you see the European Revolution, because it's coming. Poor people will not put up with that shit from you rich motherfuckers forever. And there's a hell of a lot more poor people in Europe than rich people. And it doesn't matter how many politicians get bought and paid for it, how many police officers they have on the street, or how many fucking soldiers they have. Because those soldiers and those police officers, where do you think you recruited them from? You recruited them from the poor people's houses. They are the children, the fathers, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the brothers of the people who are poor. Because in order to provide that family with some income, some of their members of the family took jobs that they wouldn't have done otherwise. But they took those jobs, especially in the present day, because they were well-paying jobs. Do you think you can get a brother to cosh his own brother or his father or his mother over the head with a fucking baton? You think you can get a soldier to shoot his own family or his neighbours? Maybe some of them would, but I guarantee you 80% of them won't. And that's what's going to happen in Europe. When it comes down to having to put soldiers and policemen on the street, they'll turn around and say, no, I'm not going to go out there with my truncheon and beat my own family. And the soldiers say, no, I'm not going to go out there and shoot my own fucking community. I need to go back there on my weekends or my month or so off a year and face these people. I can't go and shoot my fucking neighbours. And the politicians are going to have to turn around to the fucking people who pay them and say, you know what, you maybe pay me a lot of money, it was fine when everything was going smooth, but I can't get the people to kill each other for you. I just can't. They just won't do it. That's the problem that Republicans are facing at the moment in America. You just can't get enough people to turn around and shit on their own fucking doorstep. But that's what you're asking them. You're asking fucking women, blacks, Mexicans, you know, Chinese, you're asking them all to come and be a Republican, be a conservative, and shit on your own fucking family. Some people will do it, but that's why there's very few black people, Asian people, or Mexican people working for Fox News, because some people realise, you know, I can't do that for a living. I'm shitting on my own people. It's like shitting on my own head. I just can't do it. I can't shit on my own head. It's impossible. So Republicans, when you think Ron Paul's going to be a saviour, after thinking that, you know, your Jesus was going to be Chris Christie, and now you get people at CPAC turning and calling him a traitor. Oh, how quickly do you turn on your own? How quickly do you eat your own babies? You know, fucking conservatives. So Ron Paul isn't the saviour. You know what I mean? He's just not the saviour. Chris Christie wasn't the saviour. Ron Paul's not the saviour. What's that? Rubio, he's not your saviour either. He'll turn around and fucking, you know, just give you the finger and fuck off back to where he thinks he should be. He's only doing this shit in order to perhaps position himself for a run in 2016. But he knows himself. And he will realise this more and more as time goes on over the next year, that he's got no fucking chance whatsoever. And if he wants to hold any sort of, like, you know, hold his head up in his own community when he goes back there, hold his head up in his own family when he goes for a Christmas meal with his family, he's got to turn around and turn his back on you motherfuckers as well. The Conservatives in America are dead. And I'm hoping very much that conservatism will die off in Britain as well over the next 2 or 3 years, as Cameron and his cohorts of fucking fucked-hearted fucking nitwicks fuck our country up enough where they're ashamed to walk into the House of Commons and hold their head up and speak. That's what I'm